Kenyans, we are playing with fire and it's gonna burn us to ashes if we are not careful. This fuel issue, just the other day, the government announced an increase in the diesel prices by 40 shillings, while the petrol was with 28 shillings. It wasn't much days before the CS for Energy and Petroleum told us that the government has put all measures to make sure that there will be no fuel increase. Now, the same CS, when there was this 4.8 billion scandal, Opiyo Wandayi told us that should have that fuel that was blocked from entering Kenya, get into Kenya, enter, it would see the increase of fuel by 14 shillings. Then, boom, another thing hits us, an increase in fuel prices by exorbitant fees, like 40 shillings and 28 shillings. Then, as if nothing is happening, the president sprouts out of nowhere to tell us, oh, I have now reduced the VAT from this to this. I mean, how does that help Kenyans? We have a president that is creating a problem, then pretend to be solving it so that we see him as a person who is working. There is no way you can increase something. For instance, let's say that you've increased, like they've done it with 40 shillings. Then they come again and reduce it with 10 shillings. So will he want people to clap for him that he's reduced fuel prices? But that is the psychology he wants to play with you. Kenyans, the streets are calling. And like a friend of mine, Chegi Majuiza, really say, the best way to know that you are stupid is if you believe anything William Samoei Ruto says. Because we've been here, we've been witnessing and seeing how this regime is committing atrocities to the people of Kenya. Actually, they are plundering this nation. They want to see Kenya to its knees. Like Nini Nyoro said, that whatever is happening in Kenya right now is not anything much to corruption. It is a plundering. It is outright theft. We heard about Cleophas Malala saying that this fuel that you are now seeing an increment in it, it's a shipment for William Samoei Ruto's proxies. And the G2G issue is just but a scam. Because if it is government to government, we would have seen it is a Kenya pipeline with the government or the responding authority with fuel in another government in the Middle East. But in this case, it is a company dealing with another private company to bring oil to KPC. What aren't we seeing? What aren't we studying, we as Kenyans? What more evidence do we need? And Mr. President, how much is much? How far is far? I mean, you are not getting satisfied. You are plundering resources. It's as if Kenyans waliweza kukukosea sana yani. It's like Kenyans did make a very big mistake and they deserve not to be forgiven from your side. And now you have to make their lives much harder. Kenyans, this is why I say we are playing with fire. The streets are calling. And like Babu said, this is the perfect time to go for maandamano because that is the language which these African governments understand. The way we rejected the Finance Bill 2024, it is the same way we should reject this fuel increment in prices. We should tell them not to use the Iran-Israel-US war as an excuse on this. When there was war in Ukraine versus Russia, it is the same thing that they said. And clearly, that time it was at around 135 shillings petrol. And we could see before the 2022 general elections, Ruto himself as the deputy president was castigating the then regime, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's regime, that increasing fuel, it was out of sheer cartel propagations, not that it is a reality as a result of Ukraine-Russia war back then. Today, the fuel prices have skyrocketed 206. Tell me, are we insane? Then you tell us, for the common mwananchi, we have not increased the kerosene prices. How many people use kerosene nowadays? Very few. And at the end of the day, that product which he is going to buy in the market, the basic commodities, be it tomatoes, flour, anything that is passing transportation to where it is for it to be bought, will increase in prices. Therefore, Mr. President, stop playing with our intelligence. Kenyans, it is high time that we rise against our comfort zones, because this is what is disturbing us. We feel as if it is not a problem to deal with. You feel as if this is not your war. But trust me, this is your war. The rich did say, we have cars, we have money. What happened when there was floods in Nairobi? It is their cars, because of poor drainage, that were being carried away by floods. It is their buildings that were collapsing. It is their entities and empires that were falling. Still, this is not your war. And even if, after talking like the way I am, you don't feel like it concerns you, you must be checked upright. Something ain't right with you. Now, for those who sing tuta, are you buying cheaper fuel? Are you getting it easier in this life? Are you sailing through softly in this life? It is so sad. But anyway, it is the life that we have chosen as Kenyans. Bado shida haijatupiga. Wakati shida itakapotugundua vizuri, yani itakapotugonga vizuri, yani ndivyo tutakapojua kwamba tunacheza na moto. William Samoei Ruto hana lolote la kumtakia Mkenya amani. Yule ni kuangalia tumbo lake, manake tumbo lisiloshiba kamwe haliwezi likashiba. Anajilimbikizia mabilioni ya hela kila kuchao. Sijui utajiri wa aina gani anahitaji. I'm so done. Give me your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from my YouTube channel and you have content of this nature, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we are live and we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.